Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive, your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed, packed with surprising facts and, hopefully, just enough humor to keep you hooked.
Glad to be diving in.
Today, we're plunging into a subject that's both thrilling and, let's be honest, maybe a bit daunting for some. Artificial intelligence. Specifically, its profound, far-reaching impact on quality assurance. Particularly within the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah, it's a big one.
And we're drawing from some really incredible real-world insights shared by leaders like Martin Lush, Phoebe Clough, Damian Larrington, and Richard Smalley. Their perspectives were originally featured on the QP Diaries, the Playbook, hosted by Dal Pawar.
It's a truly visionary, yet I think deeply grounded exploration. We're looking at both the immense opportunities AI presents for maybe enhancing efficiency, speed, even patient safety,
Right.
but also highlighting the crucial risks we absolutely have to meticulously navigate, especially in a highly regulated GXP environment.
Exactly. Compliance is king there.
So our mission today is to kind of extract the most important nuggets of knowledge from these discussions. We want to help you understand how AI is not just a buzzword, It's already reshaping QA. What new skills are becoming absolutely essential for qualified persons, or QPs, to thrive.
Yeah.
And how quality leadership will need to strategically adapt to this whole transformative landscape.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Martin Lush, he's a veteran, nearly 4 decades in healthcare and pharma. He really dives headfirst into this whole hype versus reality debate around AI.
He does.
What's his definitive take? Is AI all just, smoke and mirrors? Or is it the new reality that's already here, fundamentally changing everything?
Well, Martin is absolutely unequivocal on this. It's definitely more reality than hype, much more.
Okay.
He paints a rather stark picture of the underlying drivers. He highlights that we are, collectively bombarded by news headlines about unsustainable healthcare costs.
You see it everywhere.
A level that really no government anywhere in the world can truly afford in the long run. He points to what he calls disease care systems that are, frankly, fundamentally broken. They're struggling to cope with an aging global population, grappling with this increasing prevalence of chronic conditions. And of course, there's the relentless, ongoing disruption across all sectors, pharma included.
Right, constant change.
Martin stresses that none of these fundamental drivers are going away. They are here to stay. And if anything, they will only continue to exert escalating pressure on the industry to innovate and transform. So this isn't some fleeting trend. It's a really foundational shift.
That's a powerful statement right from the start. It really grounds the conversation in these undeniable global challenges that maybe AI might actually help us address.
And what's truly fascinating here, and perhaps a bit mind-bending, is his projection. He talks about a million-fold acceleration in AI development.
A million-fold.
Yeah, within just the next 15 to 20 years. Just try to get your head around that scale. A million-fold. What this translates to for you and your organization isn't just faster adoption, it's a fundamental exponential shift in how quickly AI capabilities evolve, how rapidly its associated costs fall, and how truly ubiquitous AI becomes across every industry. He points out that as any new technology emerges, those initial barriers to entry like, exorbitant cost or limited accessibility, they inevitably fall away.
Okay.
This makes AI not just a passing trend or some niche tool, but a pervasive and frankly unavoidable force. It will integrate into almost every facet of our lives and, crucially, every corner of our industries.
So today's cutting-edge AI could be, basic next year.
Pretty much. It demands this constant adaptive learning mindset from everyone, particularly QPs and quality leaders. You can't just learn it once.
And he's not just talking theoretical business strategy either. He
Right.
expresses a very personal interest as a father coaching the next generation.
Right.
He notes that there is not one profession, not one job that will be unaffected by artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, whatever term you prefer. He kind of views his interest in part as a parent, figuring out how to coach and mentor that generation, to make the right decisions for their careers in this rapidly changing world. It's a universal challenge, really.
Exactly. Which brings us to a really important question. Why is AI not just another shiny new thing? Or, an optional luxury for businesses in pharma?
Yeah, why now?
Martin emphasizes it's a direct, undeniable business imperative. Companies are facing immense pressure from falling profits, often due to like a decade or two of persistent inflationary pressures impacting supply chains, operating costs.
Right.
They're experiencing disruption almost weekly, it feels like sometimes, whether it's geopolitical shifts, supply chain shocks, new regulatory demands.
Relentless.
And universally, every part of the organization is being asked to do more with less resource and do it faster. You know the drill. Enhance productivity, efficiency, but without compromising quality.
The classic squeeze.
So, to survive and truly thrive in this demanding, dynamic environment, businesses have to make faster, smarter decisions. They need to make far better use of the disparate data and knowledge that's often just sitting there, siloed, spread around the organization.
It's untapped potential.
But isn't connected or easily leveraged. They absolutely have to improve their cycle time for everything R&D, manufacturing, dramatically improve their right first-time rates to minimize waste and rework, and simplify overly complex processes to remove unnecessary friction.
Makes sense.
This entire transformation, Martin argues, is driven by absolute business necessity, not just by some cool new technology.
That's a powerful picture. An industry under immense pressure. But okay, for our listeners steeped in the rigorous world of quality assurance, where safety and compliance are absolutely non-negotiable, the immediate question might be, how does this pervasive AI, this, unavoidable force you describe, actually fit into a space built on meticulous control and strict guidelines?
Oh.
Where does it actually touch QA in practical terms?
That's the crucial pivot, yeah. And Martin Lush provides concrete answers here. He talks about specific areas where AI is already making a tangible, measurable difference. And it extends far beyond just, the headline-grabbing stuff like drug discovery.
Okay, like what?
Well, he highlights several applications critical to the QP role and the overall quality system itself, for instance, in product release.
Right, the core QP task.
Exactly. AI is being deployed as a sophisticated assist to significantly accelerate that process. Now, it's not about an AI signing off on a batch, let's be clear.
No robot QPs just yet.
Not yet. It's more about an AI compiling and analyzing all the complex data points, cross-referencing against specs, historical data, even real-time manufacturing parameters.
So it does the heavy lifting on the data side.
Precisely. This allows the human QP to review a highly condensed, pre-analyzed assurance packet. It drastically cuts down the review time, potentially from days to hours, freeing them, as Martin puts it, from the shackles of just rubber stamping massive data piles.
So it's about making that crucial final review much more efficient and data-rich, rather than just automating the decision itself. Sounds like a powerful productivity tool.
It really is. He also mentions how AI can be used in deviation investigations and KPA systems.
Okay.
Imagine AI identifying clusters and subtle patterns of so-called minor deviations or quality incidents, things a human might easily miss across thousands of reports over time.
Like finding hidden connections.
Exactly. Like maybe 90% of your minor deviations on product X involve a certain machine part, but only on the night shift.
Ah, okay. Subtle stuff.
Very subtle. The goal here isn't to replace human investigation, it's the opposite. It's to accelerate better, more targeted investigations, leading to a dramatic, proactive reduction in future incidents by identifying root causes far more quickly and accurately.
Right. Shifting QA from being reactive to more predictive and preventative.
That's the idea. It's a big shift. He also points to AI's role in change management, streamlining those complex processes, ensuring all impacts are considered, and in adverse drug reactions, helping to understand and manage safety concerns faster.
So faster, more efficient, but still safe.
That's the core message. Enabling faster, more efficient operations without compromising safety, quality, or efficacy, even in what he describes as a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous VUCA environment.
The VUCA world, yeah.
AI aims to help navigate that by providing clarity amidst the chaos. And he actually states that using AI this way has released QPs from the shackles of batch release, allowing them to focus more on continuous improvement, education, development, prevention, rather than just firefighting all day.
That could fundamentally transform the role, couldn't it? From reactive gatekeepers to proactive quality driver.
Absolutely. It's a significant evolution.
And Damian Larrington, who's a qualified person himself, he offers this powerful confirmation that AI isn't some distant future thing, right? It's here now. He brings a very grounded, on-the-ground perspective from his global audit experience.
He really does. And what's fascinating here is Damian's direct observation that a lot of AI is already built into systems we use day to day, maybe at a basic level, simple decision-making programs, but it's there.
Okay.
This isn't theoretical for him, it's operational. He's personally audited facilities globally that have already implemented AI in significant ways. He describes seeing robotic lines being validated, with AI actively managing full manufacturing runs of medicines.
Wow. So AI running the line.
In some cases, yeah, it's not just basic automation, it's intelligent automation making real-time decisions. And he underscores a key point.
Hmm.
If you're sourcing active ingredients or excipients from countries already using these advanced robotic and AI-managed systems,
Which many are.
then AI is already impacting your supply chain, whether you fully realize it or not. This isn't future gazing, it's current, active, deeply integrated reality in the global pharma landscape. It demands attention now.
And Damien even raises that provocative question about Annex 16 guidance.
Yeah.
That's the key EU regulation for QPs, right?
What?
He asks, is the robot appropriately trained? That really challenges our traditional thinking about GXP, about good practice guidelines, and how we define validation for these intelligent systems.
It absolutely does.
It forces us to reconsider who, or maybe what, holds accountability.
Precisely right. It highlights that AI isn't just theoretical. It's a current, active, tangible part of the GXP environment. It's already requiring a new level of scrutiny, a new level of understanding from quality professionals. It forces us to ask these fundamental questions. How do we define training when it applies to an algorithm? What does competency even mean for an AI system? And ultimately, how do we assign and manage accountability when intelligent systems are making critical decisions?
Big questions.
Huge. It's a fundamental shift that demands a proactive response, not a reactive one, from both the industry and the regulators.
Okay, so if AI is already here, accelerating, embedded in manufacturing and the supply chain, what does this profound shift mean for QPs themselves? For the essential skills they'll need to stay effective, relevant. Phoebe Clough offers some fascinating insights here, especially around learning and development.
Yes, Phoebe is really excited about AI's potential, particularly in learning and development for QPs. She sees AI as fundamentally democratizing knowledge.
Democratizing knowledge. How so?
Well, making that highly specialized, often hard-to-access knowledge required to become a QP more available, breaking down geographical barriers, maybe financial barriers too, potentially making the path to becoming a QP more accessible to a wider range of talented people globally.
That's interesting, and here's where, for me, it gets really interesting, quite revolutionary, actually. Phoebe brings up this analogy that completely shifts how I think about QP training. She suggests something like a flight simulator for QP training. What does that actually look like in practice? How revolutionary could that be for experiencing QP challenges safely?
It's such a brilliant analogy, isn't it? Yes, she envisions AI-enabled virtual reality VR and augmented reality AR providing these intense real-world simulations, but in a truly safe environment.
Okay.
This isn't just about, reading procedures in a book. It's about stress testing QPs in complex, high-pressure scenarios that mirror real-life dilemmas.
Like that example she gives.
Exactly. Imagine, as Phoebe puts it, having to deal with a Friday afternoon complaint about an adverse event when nobody else is around.
Yeah, the nightmare scenario.
Right. These simulations, she argues, would help QPs not just understand procedures, but truly understand their own reactions under pressure, refine their problem-solving skills, dramatically improve decision-making in critical situations before they face them for real.
Before the stakes are incredibly high.
Precisely. And she notes that organizations like Virtuoso, or Virtuosi, are already offering these kinds of immersive training services, specifically for sterile manufacturing, cell and gene therapy facilities, tailoring the training to a company's specific procedures and environments. So it's not just a concept, it's actually being developed and deployed now.
This sounds like it could dramatically address one of the biggest, most persistent challenges for training QPs.
Yeah.
Getting enough diverse practical exposure and experience.
Absolutely.
Especially for people in smaller companies or those who just can't relocate for extensive hands-on training. It really could level the playing field for gaining that crucial experience without the risk.
Totally agree. And the role of AI extends far beyond just initial training. It significantly impacts continuing professional development CP.
Okay, keeping skills sharp.
Yeah. Phoebe sees AI as an invaluable tool for QPs to stay continuously up to date on evolving legislation, new regulatory guidance, rapid scientific advances, all that stuff that changes constantly.
Which is a huge task in itself.
It really is. AI could function as a highly personalized AI assistant, or chatbot, actively setting up alerts, monitoring relevant legislation globally, curating and summarizing vast amounts of scientific info. This directly addresses that common QP challenge of being time poor,
Right.
freeing them from the heavy lifting of constantly hunting for information or, going down endless rabbit holes online.
So it's not just finding information, but intelligently filtering it, presenting it in a digestible, actionable way, respecting their limited time. That's a massive leap from just generic online courses or databases.
Exactly. And she explains these AI assistants could even scan internal knowledge bases within an organization.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, a crucial feature, given how hard it often is to access that deep institutional knowledge spread across a big company.
Right, the stuff only Brendan accounts knows.
Sort of. It means filtering out the noise and teasing out precisely what's crucial for a specific QP's role or current challenge. And what's more, she highlights AI can adapt its communication style to a QP's individual learning preferences. Yeah, even their daily schedule. Maybe you prefer short bursts of info in the morning, not a 3-hour deep dive. The AI could tailor prompts and summaries accordingly. Highly personalized learning.
That kind of personalized, on-demand learning sounds genuinely transformative for a role demanding constant knowledge updates. So, okay, what does all this mean for the future QP's specific skill set? How will the job description actually look different?
Well, Phoebe predicts significant changes. She estimates that while maybe 40% of current QP skills might become obsolete or largely automated by AI.
40%, that's a lot.
It is. But crucially, approximately 25% new skills will be required. QPs will need to become much more data-savvy, data-aware than ever before, because AI can pull together and link all these disparate information sources, identify trends, correlations, things humans might miss or take ages to find.
Okay, so data literacy on steroids.
Pretty much. And they'll need to understand new concepts like prompts and prompt engineering.
The prompt engineering, what's that exactly?
She defines it as essentially asking questions to an AI system in a different, more effective, often more nuanced way to get the precise output you need. It's about crafting the right queries to unlock the AI's full potential, not just typing in basic keywords.
So it's not just knowing the data, but knowing how to talk to the AI effectively to get the right insights from that data. A whole new layer of digital literacy.
Precisely. However, and this is a really critical point, Phoebe makes a fundamental role of the QP as a critical thinker. And a critical decision maker who synthesizes inputs from all experts, human and artificial, that remains absolutely paramount.
So AI is a tool, not the decision maker.
Exactly. AI will simply be one input into that complex decision-making process, a very powerful input providing highly analyzed data, deeper insights, but never making the ultimate accountable call. And Damian Larrington also strongly reinforces the need for QPs to actively seek education, go to conferences, network widely, understand these changes proactively, not wait for formal training or regulators to catch up. The onus is increasingly on the individual QP.
Okay. While the opportunities for AI and QA are vast, undeniably exciting, what about the risks? The significant regulatory ethical concerns, particularly in such a highly regulated GXP environment. Both Martin Lush and Richard Smalley express some notable concerns here. They point to some very real challenges.
Yeah, they do. Richard Smalley, with his, 40 years in the industry, highlights a critical, urgent gap.
Which is?
While AI can be incredibly positive for data assessment, for informing QP decisions, there are currently no clear guardrails for AI from regulators.
Oh, guardrails. That sounds risky.
It is. His deep concern is that regulatory bodies are under-resourced. They're simply not keeping pace with the exponential speed of AI's progression and its increasing integration into the QP role and wider pharma operations. He directly calls for urgent conversations between the industry, the MHRA, the FDA, address this vacuum. He stresses it's pressing, needs attention now, before widespread adoption creates unmanageable risks.
So the tech's moving at light speed. The regulatory framework is lagging way behind, creating this potential vacuum of oversight. That sounds like a recipe for uncertainty, maybe even significant risk.
And Martin Lush echoes this sentiment quite powerfully, actually. She says, we cannot apply yesterday's logic to regulate something that is, in his words, invisible and exponentially increasing and improving.
Invisible.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah. He stresses we need to completely rethink how we approach regulation and control for AI, acknowledging that traditional prescriptive regulatory approaches just won't work for something so dynamic, so pervasive. The challenge is to regulate in a way that fosters innovation while safeguarding patient safety without stifling progress with an outdated mindset.
Tough balancing act.
Very. And Phoebe Clough also touches on these risks, specifically regarding the reliability of AI chatbots, which, many QPs might think of using as personal assistants for quick info gathering.
All right, like asking ChatGPT a quick regulatory question.
Exactly. But she issues a crucial caution. Chatbots can sometimes hallucinate.
Hallucinate.
Yeah, meaning they can confidently provide inaccurate or just plain duff information that sounds plausible but is completely false.
Oh, that's worrying.
It is. It means QPs must continuously wear their skeptical hat, challenge the information AI provides, diligently scrutinize the underlying sources before relying on anything it generates.
So like trust but verify really, really hard.
Precisely. She emphasizes that validation will be absolutely required for AI systems, just as it is for any other software or automated system in pharma. Patient safety, she reminds us, remains paramount. QPs should never wholly rely on AI for critical decisions.
Robert.
AI, she states, is flawed in a way that we're flawed. Its algorithms can have inherent biases based on the data they were trained on. This necessitates rigorous validation, robust design of experiments to systematically identify and iron out these biases before implementation, to ensure the system behaves as expected safely. Ultimately, AI is one input, a powerful one, yes, but not the sole decision maker.
And Damian Larrington reinforces this crucial point with a very direct statement. We can't have an AI QP. The human QP's ultimate accountability for protecting patients is non-negotiable. Cannot be outsourced to a machine, no matter how smart it gets.
Absolutely non-negotiable. And Damien further identifies a critical operational risk he's seeing.
Okay.
Companies are increasingly failing to adequately resource on-site audits. He's observed large pharma companies opting for remote or just risk-assessed audits instead of physical visits.
Instead of going there in person.
Right. But it's during those physical visits that QPs can gain that vital, hands-on understanding of new technologies like AI directly from the developers, the engineers.
See how it actually works on the shop floor.
Exactly. This lack of in-depth, first-hand understanding, he argues, directly hinders QPs from effectively defining what they're reviewing, how it truly operates, and ultimately taking full responsibility for it when AI is embedded in critical processes. If you don't truly understand the black box, how can you confidently sign off on its outputs?
That's a significant barrier, which leads to this important challenge. How do QPs balance embracing this new, complex technology with maintaining strict compliance, patient safety, especially when the prevailing mindset in pharma is often that very conservative, well, this is the way it's always worked? It sounds like a real cultural hurdle.
It absolutely is a cultural hurdle. Damien urges a fundamental shift away from that traditional mentality. He draws a vivid comparison to past medical advancements like anesthesia.
Okay.
Progress, by its very nature, necessitates change, a willingness to embrace the new. He stresses the urgent need for more open discussions, active collaboration with professional bodies to mitigate risks, define acceptable boundaries for AI use, maybe even determine if certain levels of AI integration might be ethically or operationally unacceptable to the industry.
So getting ahead of the curve collectively.
Yes. The conversation needs to be proactive and collective. Otherwise, companies might find themselves having adopted AI that's already in their supply chain without fully understanding, validating, or regulating its profound implications. It's about getting ahead, not playing catch-up when it might be too late.
Okay, so with all these transformative changes already happening, coming fast, how will leadership and hiring practices in quality need to adapt? How do you foster a workforce ready for this AI-driven future?
Yeah,
It sounds like it's more than just technical upskilling. It's a shift in organizational philosophy, maybe.
definitely. And Damian Larrington highlights a critical, pervasive issue he observes, the common pigeonholing of QPs.
Pigeonholing.
Yeah. He argues that many in the industry mistakenly view the QP role as the pinnacle of a career, which often leads to a severe lack of continued career development once someone becomes qualified and starts signing off batches.
Like, okay, you've made it, now just release batches.
Yeah. Sort of, yeah. Damien advocates for a radical shift. QPs should be actively encouraged to pursue diverse opportunities, project work, leadership roles outside direct batch release, cross-functional assignments, and then rotate back into QP duties if they want, rather than being, in his words, chained to the release desk for 20 years.
Chained to the release desk, that's a powerful image, suggests a need for far more dynamic, flexible career paths within quality, fostering broader experience.
Absolutely. He warns that this kind of complacency from companies or even from QPs themselves can unfortunately lead to critical mistakes. Burnout, stagnation, lack of fresh perspective. they inevitably set in.
Makes sense.
And Richard Smalley, drawing from his extensive experience as a contract consultant and leader, shares some really invaluable lessons for quality leaders on managing the intense pressures of the role, developing effective strategies.
Practical advice.
Very practical. He advises strongly against overcommitting and stresses the paramount importance of learning to say no when workload becomes unsustainable.
The power of no. Hard but necessary.
Very necessary. He humorously recounts reaching a point where, if allowed, he might have worked 26 hours a day.
26. Trying to bend the laws of physics there.
Right. But it perfectly illustrates the unsustainable pressure many QPs and quality leaders face. He underscores the necessity for leaders to set clear boundaries for themselves and their teams to avoid burnout.
Crucial.
He also champions the good enough, move on principle, GMO.
GMO.
Good enough, move on. It means avoiding excessive perfectionism and focusing on the key questions needed to make a sound decision, not trying to gather every single piece of information, which often leads to analysis paralysis and missed deadlines.
Right. Focus on the critical stuff for compliance and safety.
Exactly. Trust and validated systems for the rest. For a QP, it's about focusing on those critical aspects.
That sounds like invaluable practical advice.
Yeah.
Managing the inherent pressures, preventing burnout, being effective, not just endlessly busy.
Absolutely. And Richard further emphasizes the importance of prioritization. Using well-known frameworks like Covey's 4 quadrants, urgent versus important, he advocates for quality professionals to focus relentlessly on high-value-adding activities and rigorously eliminate non-value-adding ones. If something is neither urgent nor important, he says, basically stop doing it. Or automate it with AI.
Outsource it to the bots.
Why not? This strategic approach, he points out, not only manages workload more effectively, but also significantly increases the perceived value of quality's contributions to the overall business objectives, demonstrating how quality directly supports the company's financial and operational goals.
So it's about quality being seen and acting as a strategic business partner, not just a compliance gatekeeper, or worse, a cost center. That's a fundamental shift.
Precisely. Ultimately, both Damien and Richard really underscore the vital need for quality leadership to actively support continuous learning, not just paying lip service, but supporting it in practice. Providing diverse experiential opportunities for QPs beyond just routine batch release. Fostering a mindset that views the QP role not as some static endpoint, but as a dynamic, evolving position that integrates deeply with broader business objectives and technological advancements.
So investing in people.
Yes. Companies must be prepared to invest significantly in this ongoing development and actively encourage external networking collaboration. This is crucial to cultivate a more resilient, adaptable, and highly effective quality workforce for the AI-driven future, ensuring quality professionals remain relevant, engaged, and actually leading the charge in this rapidly changing landscape.
We've certainly covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into AI, technology, and the future of quality assurance. It's abundantly clear, isn't it? AI is not some distant future concept. It's a present, rapidly evolving force that is already reshaping how QPs work, how they learn, how they lead in the pharmaceutical industry. The transformation is definitely underway.
Indeed. The profound insights from Martin Lush, Phoebe Clough, Damien Larrington, Richard Smalley, they paint a vivid picture of this transformation. It requires adaptability, continuous learning, and a deeply proactive mindset from every single quality professional and leader. The old ways of thinking, well, they just won't suffice in this new paradigm.
So as we wrap up then, what are the 3 key actionable takeaways for you, our listeners? Whether you're a QP, a quality leader, or maybe you're just curious about this transformative future of pharma.
Okay, I think 3 things really stand out. First, embrace AI as a partner, not a threat.
Right.
AI is undeniably here to stay. Its development is only accelerating exponentially. Ignoring it or actively resisting its integration, that will put your career and your organization at significant risk. So instead, learn to partner with AI. See it as a powerful assistant to dramatically enhance your capabilities, free up valuable time from routine, data-intensive tasks, and significantly accelerate essential processes like release data review, deviation investigations. It's about augmentation, not replacement.
Augmentation, not replacement. Got it. What's number 2?
Second, cultivate new skills and maintain a critical mindset. The QP role is profoundly evolving. Future QPs must become far more data savvy. They need to develop an intuitive understanding of new AI concepts like prompt engineering and enthusiastically embrace innovative learning methods like those VRR simulations we talked about for invaluable practical experience.
Hmm.
But crucially, always maintain that skeptical, critical thinking approach. Rigorously challenge AI outputs, diligently scrutinize its sources, validate the information. Remember, ultimate patient safety and accountability always, non-negotiably, rests with the human QP.
Always the human call.
Okay.
And the third takeaway.
And finally, number 3, advocate for regulatory evolution and continuous development. The current regulatory framework is visibly struggling to keep pace with AI's rapid advancements. So QPs and quality leaders must actively engage in the ongoing conversation with regulators. Push assertively for new, agile guidance. And within their own organizations, advocate for robust company support for continuous professional development and diverse experiential learning opportunities for their quality teams. This proactive approach is absolutely essential to ensure the quality profession remains relevant, effective, and resilient in an increasingly AI-driven world.
Powerful, actionable insights for navigating this exciting, yet definitely complex future. It's clear that the QP role isn't going anywhere, but it is certainly evolving in fascinating, challenging, and incredibly important ways.
Absolutely. So maybe the question for you listening is, what stands out from today's discussion? How do you foresee AI reshaping your specific role or perhaps your organization's broader approach to quality in the coming years? Consider how you might apply some of these insights or maybe what vital conversations you might need to initiate within your own professional circles to prepare for this future.
Food for thought indeed. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you feel better informed and more prepared for the transformative future of quality assurance. Join us next time for another journey into being truly well-informed.